Welcome to Dominican, USA. My name is Mr. Kennedy. Under a torrential rainstorm in the heart of Santo Domingo, we're going to bring to you two cases of disappearing children in the Dominican Republic. We're going to talk about the first case. Is going to be about Brianna Henao. She was taken from Puerto Plata. She was taken, and she hasn't been found yet. And we're also going to go to Manobao, which is a small town city in Jarabacoa. We're going to bring you their case. And they're both 3 years old, and they're missing and presumed dead. Stay with us.
Mr. Kennedy presents Dominican, USA.
Welcome back to Dominican, USA. My name is Mr. Kennedy, once again. Today, we have somber news. We're going to feature two cases of disappearing children. They're disappearing from their homes. They're being abducted, and we have to address this issue. And today, we're going to address this issue. Our first case that I want to talk to you about is about a 3-year-old, a beautiful 3-year-old by the name of Brianna Henao. She is from Puerto Plata. Everyone knows about Puerto Plata. It is a tourist place where cruise ships go. And, you know, there's a lot of things that go on in Puerto Plata. She was missing New Year's Day. New Year's Day, she was missing. They couldn't find her. Her parents could not find her. Her last whereabouts that she was playing in her aunt's home in the patio. It was New Year's Day. Where is Brianna? The authorities are searching everywhere for this 3-year-old, this beautiful 3-year-old. And we want to bring this to light because we need the authorities, we need the communities to do more. We need to find her. She is not presumed dead as now. Her body hasn't been found, but there are two persons of interest in that community, and they're both brothers. They're both under arrest, detained, without bond. The authorities have questioned them. The reporters have questioned them. I've seen the interviews, and listen, I'm not a clinician. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't have that authority. I don't have those skills. But after seeing the interview by these two men, one is 53 years old and the other one is 42, it seems like they have an issue, a mental health issue. The authorities know this, so the investigation continues. We still continue to look for Brianna Henao. All the resources in Puerto Plata are trying to get this child back to her parents. So stay with us. We're going to update you throughout the month until we find her. We need to find Brianna Henao. We need to bring her back to her parents, back to her loved ones. She's just 3 years old. Why is this happening in DR? We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about why this is happening and what can we do to prevent these things from happening to the next family. Our next case that we're going to feature here on Dominican USA is the case of Roldany Calderon, a 3-year-old, another 3-year-old that went missing. Where did he go missing? In Manobao. It's a mountainous small town that is incorporated in Jarabacoa. Anyone that knows Jarabacoa understands that that's a beautiful place, but he's been missing. The authorities have searched and searched for him for several months now. I've been following this case for a while, since it first happened. Why? Because I used to live in Jarabacoa, and I visited Manobao just about every weekend. I have lots of friends there, and I'm going to tell you, Manobao is a magical place. It is a magical place full of great people, hospitable folks, and it really tugged my heart when I heard about this case. Another 3-year-old, Roldany. The authorities have searched, and they have searched some more. They went through those mountains looking for Roldany Calderon. Their parents have been interviewed. A lot of folks have been brought in to the police department. They've been interviewed, and they're still searching. They're still searching, and we have hope that we could find Roldany. We have hope that we could bring back Roldany to his family. It is important. It is important that we continue to go out and look for him. Follow any lead that we have, and for the hope that Roldany's still alive. Now, the one thing that is constant, these are young parents, my friends. These are very young parents. A lot of them don't have the resources to ensure that their kids are safe, and they come from trusted communities. But the danger lurks everywhere. The danger lurks everywhere. Look, I have 4 kids that I raised. I got 2 grandkids that I'm still involved with them, raising them to make sure that they're safe. My kids never had any sleepovers. My wife and I were very active with our kids. And we did our best to protect them. We protect our children because they can't protect themselves. They can't defend themselves. I'm not going to victimize the victims. The victims here are the parents and, of course, these beautiful children that were taken. That's not my intention to victimize them. I want to bring awareness to the Dominican Republic. Let's talk about what we can do to prevent these things from happening. What can we do? We just can't stand here or sit here and pretend this is not going to happen again.
We got to know where they are.
We have to know where our kids are 24/7. But with that, let's say that not all the parents are the same. Okay, let's say that parents work. They have 2 jobs. They got to put food on the table. They got to entrust their families to take care of their kids. They got to entrust that. Look, when I was raising my kids, I allowed no one to take them to the beach or a pool without me. They don't go to the beach, they don't go to the pool without me, because I'm their first responder. I'm the one that's going to go in there and rescue them. That is me, okay? Now, what can the Dominican Republic do? What can the authorities do? There's not an Amber Alert here. There's not a platform where parents and people could go and see, oh, wow, there's a missing child. There's a missing child in Jarabacoa. There's a missing child in Manobao. There's a missing child in Puerto Plata, where that community could get together on social media, the platform, and start looking, because within 24 hours of searching, your percentages go up. The probabilities of you finding that child within 24 hours, they go extremely high. And now, besides the Amber Alert, and I'm going to say Amber Alert several times because I think that platform in the United States works extremely well when there's a child abducted. And some of these children are abducted by parents that are divorced and they have a conflict. So the Amber Alert really works well when I'm over there in the state of Florida. I look at my Amber Alert. I make sure that if it's in my community, that I'm going to get involved in that search of that child. Okay? Now, what are the authorities doing here to find these children? Look, we have forensic evidence or forensic science. I don't think the Dominican Republic is doing enough to invest in forensic science in order to come to the scene of the crime and figure out who was there, what DNA they left behind, what sort of evidence they left behind for us to find the alleged criminal. They abducted these kids, okay? So we have to do more. Awareness. There has to be a campaign paid by the state, the Dominican government. Awareness. They publicize campaigns, political campaigns, with taxpayers' money here. They have to do better. They have to go ahead and spend those resources to tell parents, Be on alert. Be careful. Do not trust anyone with your children. Do not leave them unattended in the patio, on the porch, or anywhere around. We have to be more vigilant, and that comes through campaigning. We have to have a national campaign of awareness. We have to protest. We have to march to save our kids. Let's all pray together that we could bring these kids back to their family. That's the first and foremost. We're praying for these families that are out there that are crying every night because their kids are not in their home, in their bed where they should be. There's nothing worse than a small child being abducted for a parent. I don't know what that feels, because that never happened to me or any of my friends. But we need to be aware. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about what happened to me not too far away from here. This studio that you see right here, we built this studio, and we had to go to the shop about maybe 20 minutes away from here. And I was in the shop trying to supervise, trying to get the studio going so they could build it as fast as they can. And I went to a local colmado, where they sell, food, all kinds of stuff. And when I was there was several people that were in the colmado, the owner, of course, and his wife. And in walked a 7-year-old girl by herself, friends, by herself. She walked in and she was looking around what to buy. I think she had like a quarter in her hand. And I observed that. And then I didn't address the child, because I don't address children. I addressed the adults. So I said to the owner, who is this child and why is she doing here by herself? Oh, yeah, she belongs to this young parent that's out there. And I said, can you please have your wife walk her to her mother? That's what I said to him, and they did it. So I purchased what I had to purchase for the workers that were building the studio. And as I was walking towards the shop, I saw her and her mother. And usually I don't get involved in recommendation or advice, but I just could not bear it. I had to say something. And I said, respectfully, can I say something to you? I asked her for permission to say something to her about her child. I said, I saw your child in the colmado. I asked the owner, his wife, to bring her to you. I'm just trying to tell you something. Do not allow your child to go anywhere by herself. So on that note, I want to thank you for being here. Let's be vigilant. Let's stay on top of the situation, and let's put the authorities to task and the government to task that we must bring our children back home.